Here we go, Birds fans. It's that time of year again. The energy in South Philadelphia is electric. The anticipation is in the air. And the countdown to another thrilling Eagles season is officially on. The players have arrived. The pads are coming on, and tomorrow we get our first official team practice of training camp. The road to defending that second Lombardi trophy begins right here, right now. It's a beautiful day to be an Eagles fan, and let's be honest, isn't it always? The big news around the NovaCare complex today isn't just the opening of camp, it's the vibe. There's something different in the air, a little sharper, a little hungrier. And right at the center of it, walking into camp like a man on a mission, is none other than your Super Bowl MVP and franchise quarterback, Jalen Hurts. Stepping out of his ride decked in fresh Jordan brand gear because, of course, he's a Jordan athlete now. Hurts looked locked in, focused, calm, like a guy who just spent part of his offseason chilling with Michael Jordan in Greece and came back with a mindset forged in greatness. That's the tone setter you want leading your locker room, and I gotta ask you, are you ready? Are you fired up for another ride with this squad? Because I know I am. Training camp is officially underway, preseason is right around the corner, and before we know it, it's go time. Real games, real moments, real history waiting to be written. Let's dive into the latest roster move that's got people talking. Howie Roseman and the Eagles front office are once again playing chess. While others play checkers, this time, it's a move that might not grab national headlines, but it shows how detail-oriented and proactive this team really is. According to league sources, the Eagles are expected to sign defensive tackle Jacob Sykes. He becomes the 15th UFL player to earn an NFL contract this offseason, a small but telling sign of how well-run organizations like the Eagles capitalize on overlooked talent. Now, Jacob Sykes isn't a household name yet, but he's got one of the most fascinating profiles of any depth signing you'll see. He started 9 games for the San Antonio Brahmas in the UFL, racking up 19 tackles and 2 sacks. He's 6'3", 277 pounds, and brings the kind of versatility that Eagles defensive coordinator Vic Fangio loves. He's played both defensive tackle and defensive end, but his frame puts him in that classic tweener category. A bit too light to be a dominant interior lineman, a bit too heavy to fly off the edge full time, but what he lacks in perfect measurables, he makes up for in football IQ and athleticism. And speaking of IQ, Sykes is a Harvard man. That's right, Ivy League smarts. 4 years at Harvard before transferring to UCLA to play under Chip Kelly in 2022. He went undrafted but spent training camp with the Seattle SEAHAWKS last year and has been grinding in the UFL ever since. That's the kind of journey that builds character. That's the kind of hunger you want in your camp bodies. And if there's one thing the Eagles love, it's finding value in places others overlook. The team worked out a few defensive tackles earlier this week: Joe Evans, Leonard Payne, and Sykes, but clearly, Sykes stood out. His relative athletic score coming out of college, a 9.06, that's elite. While he might not be the biggest guy on the field, he can move. His 40-yard dash, 4.9 for vertical leap, 32 inches, broad jump over 9 feet. And he crushed the agility drills, shuttle, 3-cone, you name it, he flashed. Is he a lock to make the 53? Probably not. But in this league, it's all about depth, it's all about development. And it's all about having guys who can contribute if and when their number is called. But let's zoom out a bit, because the bigger storylines heading into this camp aren't just about fringe roster moves. It's about mindset. It's about leadership. And nobody has set a more deliberate tone this offseason than head coach Nick Sirianni. Now, let's go back a bit. The Eagles won their second Super Bowl in franchise history in early 2024. A dominant performance that left no doubt. They dismantled the Kansas City Chiefs, ended their hopes of a three-peat, had a parade for the ages. But fast forward to today, and you'll notice something critical. No one's resting on that ring. Sirriani, more than anyone, has been laser-focused on avoiding the infamous Super Bowl hangover. Remember 2017? Doug Peterson and the Eagles won it all. The city lost its mind. Then came 2018. The follow-up season was sluggish. The team looked off. And part of that, whether anyone wants to admit it or not, was a lack of refocus. Doug wrote a book that offseason, did a media tour, took the victory lap. And by the time the season kicked off, it felt like the team hadn't reset. Sirianni, he's not making that same mistake. In fact, he's gone out of his way to keep things tight. No big media blitz, no flashy off-field projects. Sure, he attended a couple speaking engagements and made an appearance or two, but nothing that pulled his attention away from the grind, and that's by design. Sirianni spent time this offseason meeting with coaches from other successful franchises, trying to understand how to build sustainable excellence. Not just a one-off championship, a legacy. And what did he hear from all those championship coaches? One thing, over and over again: don't look back, and don't look too far ahead. Be present. Show up every day, put in the work. That's where dynasties are built, not in February parades, but in July walkthroughs and August practices. Sirianni has embraced that philosophy completely. He's reinstalling culture from scratch. Not assuming the players get it because they won. Not coasting on last year's message. He's starting from square one, teaching everything better, cleaner, and with more purpose. Situational football, mental toughness, detail, connection. That's the core of this year's Eagles team. And look, this isn't just coach speak. The players feel it too. A.J. Brown said it best when the team got their Super Bowl rings, arguably the most stunning championship rings in NFL history. Wings that literally extend from the sides when you press a button. That's how epic this title was. But as he admired that piece of jewelry, A.J. looked up and said, "I know it's going to be hard, but we've got to do this again." That's the kind of hunger you need to stay on top. Same goes for Devonta Smith, for Saquon Barkley. Yes, Saquon, the former Giant, is now part of the family. And don't think for a second he joined this squad just for a paycheck. He saw what the Eagles are building, and he wanted in. Now you've got a three-headed monster in that backfield and a receiving corps that ranks among the NFL's elite. This team is loaded. But talent alone doesn't win championships. Just ask Dallas. Speaking of the Cowboys, while the Eagles are focused, organized, and dialed in, America's team is back to being America's soap opera. Because what would training camp be without Jerry Jones making things messy? The Cowboys opened their camp with drama right out of the gate. Jerry, Stephen Jones, and new head coach Brian Schottenheimer held a press conference, and it was a train wreck. Jerry took shots at his own quarterback, Dak Prescott, bringing up the fact that Dak was hurt last season and essentially questioning the value of the contract they gave him. Then he turned around and misnamed Micah Parsons, calling him Michael, while criticizing his contract status and durability. Even though Parsons has barely missed time in his entire career, J.J. Watt saw the clip, retweeted it, and said what everyone was thinking: nothing makes players want to fight for you more than hearing how upset you are that they got hurt while fighting for you. And guess what? Micah Parsons retweeted that the tension is real, the dysfunction is real, and it all starts at the top. Would Jeffrey Lurie ever do this? Not a chance. You almost never hear from him during the season. Would Howie Roseman ever treat a contract negotiation like this? Laughable. Howie handles his business early. He locks down core players before the market resets and costs the team millions. That's why the Eagles are built for the long haul, and the Cowboys are stuck in an endless loop of underachievement. Jerry even made a bizarre comment that sometimes teams don't sign players because of the unknown, and added that a player could sign and then get hit by a car. That's not leadership. That's a man desperately clinging to relevance. And while all this chaos brews in Dallas, the Eagles keep stacking bricks. The roster is deep, the staff is sharp, the culture is tight, the mindset is elite. They're not just trying to defend a championship, they're trying to build something legendary. Now let's talk about the foundation that's been laid, because it's not just hype. It's not just energy and swagger. What makes this Eagles team different heading into 2025 is the infrastructure, the leadership, the consistency at the most important positions in football, and the alignment between ownership, front office, coaching staff, and players. That's rare. That's what dynasties are built on. You look around the league, and you see chaos. You see egos. You see talented teams implode under the weight of poor decision-making and bad culture. But in Philly, they're building it the right way. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep delivering the latest updates on our Philadelphia Eagles, and don't be shy, share your thoughts on the news in the comments below. A surprising shakeup might be unfolding in the NFL, as rumors swirl around one of the league's most dynamic wide receivers potentially changing teams. Reports have started to surface suggesting that Cooper Kupp, the standout wideout formerly of the Seattle Seahawks, could be making a high-profile move to the Philadelphia Eagles. While nothing has been officially announced yet, insiders are buzzing about the possibility that a deal is in the works, and it could soon become one of the biggest trades of the season. Cooper Kupp's tenure with the Seahawks has been marked by his impressive route running and reliable hands, making him a key offensive weapon. His ability to create separation and consistently deliver in clutch moments has made him a fan favorite and a nightmare for opposing defenses. The thought of Kupp departing Seattle is already stirring up conversations among fans and analysts alike, who are eager to speculate about the impact this would have on both teams. Philadelphia, known for its aggressive approach to building a championship-caliber roster, appears to be eyeing Kupp as a significant addition to bolster their receiving corps. The Eagles have been in search of a reliable target who can seamlessly integrate into their offensive scheme and elevate their passing game. Kupp's style fits that mold perfectly, and his potential rival could send a clear message that Philly is serious about contending at the highest level this season. While the details of the trade remain under wraps, the confirmation that such a negotiation is underway is enough to ignite excitement and debate. Supporters of the Seahawks might feel the sting of losing such a productive player, but could also see this as an opportunity for the team to shake up their strategy and bring in fresh talent. Meanwhile, Eagles fans are already imagining the explosive plays and dynamic combinations Kupp could bring to Lincoln Financial Field. Of course, with any rumor of this magnitude, questions linger about the terms of the trade, the timing of the move, and how quickly Kupp would adapt to his new team system. But one thing is clear: if this deal goes through, it has the potential to reshape the landscape of the NFL's receiving talent and inject new energy into both franchises. As the story develops, all eyes will be on the Seahawks and Eagles to see if this buzz transforms into reality, making Cooper Kupp's move one of the most talked about transactions of the year. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our Philadelphia Eagles, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.